Hey everyone, NemZ here. Today we're just going to be playing Default Wave 2. 3, I can't count. Let's start again. So, basically, I found this on the recent tab. I'll just show you that right now. So recent, it might not be so recent now. Oh, it is. Wow, there's really nothing getting uploaded. That's insane rated. Anyway, this is Bunch's new level. I don't know when it was released, but it must have just been probably today or something. Anyway, I've played it, and oh boy do I have a lot to say about this level. Alright, so I'm just, I think I'm in low detail right now. Let me double check. Yeah, I am. Let me get rid of that, because I want to give you my opinion on this level. Real quick, I'm just gonna since this is my first video on this channel, real quick introduction. So I'm NemZ, just call me Nem. I've had a couple GD channels before, was known kind of in the GD community for my project, but under a different name. Basically started afresh, and right now, I'm going for GD mod, right? Because you know the new mod wave, and people that aren't creators have actually got a chance now. And I thought it'd be nice to make some videos, you know, reviewing levels sort of thing. So that's what we're going to be doing. And we're starting off with this level. Boy, is it crazy. I think it goes without saying upon first sight that it's pretty damn generic. I've actually given this quite a bit of a playthrough already. I actually recorded this video before, but I didn't like it. It wasn't very informative. So there's that part that's really inconsistent. I like to press an extra time than you're supposed to just to make it consistent, which still doesn't make it consistent, but it's a bit better. So yeah, as you can see, I'm kind of lagging, which is why I need to beat it with LDM. Alright, so as you can see, it's a very generic looking level. I don't know what else to say. I mean, without completely spoiling my opinion, which I don't want to do on my first practice run. I mean, it's not entirely bad, I'll tell you that. But it's not good. So this is the third installment in the apparent series for this default wave thingy. And it's I've only played the first one, but it was no good. First one was very bad. I was really surprised that it even got rated, actually. Sometimes RobTop's decisions are pretty questionable, but again, I do like that non-creators can actually get mod now. I mean, some of the people he picked, I can't say I agree with, for the recent mod wave, but on the bright side, you know, I do think it's a good idea to have players as mods. So I'm going for it. It's a goal. I'm not desperate for it, if you know what I mean. I don't really, as a non-creator, there's not really much other way to get myself out there than to actually like say that I am out here trying to get it, and you know, hope for the best. Really, I'll just try to prove my knowledge through this sort of method. And to be honest, as a game developer, I think it's pretty obvious I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, point is, this part here is so generic, and here it just gets even more generic. And it mostly sticks to one colour, or two at most, usually at once. And it's just really boring to look at. It's not, like, fun to look at, you know? Especially, like, this part. Look how boring this is. It's just, if you break it down into little pieces, it's just a few pieces of glow in the background. And some pillars, which must have taken a few seconds to create with some blending and opacity. It's not hard. Like, I could have done this very easily. There's not even effort in the saw blades. They're just default saw blades with a circle, like a circle in them. I mean, the air deco is also very meh. And then there's similarly to one of the other levels in this series, the very first one. it just has retarded duels at the end, which are not fun to play. They feel very fillers, like very much like fillers, and they're just annoying to have to do. Very inconsistent. And this, just tell me this part's not unnecessary at the end. Like, he didn't even bother with decoration. Like, if you know, this is, okay, I normally wouldn't give my opinion this early on, but you can see it's not rate worthy, okay? Like, look, there's no effort put into this. I mean, rate worthy at most, okay? Like, definitely not feature. But look at this. Okay, as you can see, he's sticking to the purple colour with different pulses on the object, right? And that is just so boring. It's so generic. We see this all the time. And the block designs themselves are nothing new either. And then, here's one of my other things with this level, the gameplay. I know I mentioned the duels, but boy, there isn't a good thing in the gameplay here. Like, throughout the whole level, there isn't a good piece of gameplay. I mean that. It's really bad. I mean, you shouldn't have to click twice just to fix a part, you know? Then, of course, you got your generic build-up as well, you know? Just a long, invisible cube thingy with pads. It's just not a great level at all. I mean, the transitions also suck. They just throw you into things and whatnot. It's really just bad, okay? Now, this part here, you know, like this wave, where it goes blue and stuff, and you have these block designs, it does look a bit better, actually. It's a lot less boring. But that's only the block design. I can't say the same for the air deco. The air deco stays pretty much the same throughout most of the level. Right, now I'm going to show you something as well. So we're going to enable low detail. We're going to go in, and you're going to see how different it is. Now, another thing I think is really important for a featured level is obviously having an LDM if it's laggy, but the LDM has to be very well done, I think. It's quite important that the LDM is effective. And I have to say, the LDM is effective, but it's bad, okay? This is not a good example of an LDM. Do not do this sort of thing. It completely just removes the air deco that tells you where to go. That's instantly just bad. I want to be able to see where I need to click. You know, like the dots that usually show you where to go. They're not laggy, they're really not. You shouldn't have removed them. That's so pointless. Right, this is also another point I can make now that I've just died there. I assumed you could slide on that block. Because look, it looks like a block you'd be able to slide on because of the way the wave's made, right? And there was also blocks where you can slide on some point in the level. I don't know if I was past them or not. I think they was upcoming. But, can you please tell us when we can slide then? Because, you know, it makes us understand the level a lot more. I don't like having to trial and error everything. Anyway, the block designs here, they're really boring. Really generic. Just boring. I have nothing more to say than boring. There's just not enough colours in the blocks. Like, come on. You can do better than this. Another example of the inconsistency. Alright, but seriously though, like, I mean, just look at every part of this level and look at each part individually, and you'll see what I mean when I say it's generic. Look at the blocks. Generic. They have, you know, these outlines, you know, the blocks, and then they have a little black part inside, you know, very generic 3D, very generic grass, and the block decos that everybody uses, like the, you know, these dashes and put together to make a cross, etc, etc. Then you've got the spikes, which are obviously just generic, and, you know, they've got that generic outline as well. Then you've got the saws, which are super generic, because they're just default saws with a, you know, circle inside of them. And there's, you know, it's just, I mean, if I had the air deco enabled, I'd also be able to show you that. It's really basic. Everything is basic. And it just feels like there isn't enough effort. Because, I gotta be honest, sometimes you see a level that's not amazing looking, but I think it deserves to be a featured level, or a rated level at least, because you can see effort put into it. It's just the execution's not always perfect. This level's a case of both were kind of a problem. There's not really good execution, because, I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look good, so what's the point? But the thing is that it's just, it's not really showing much effort either. And I mean that in terms of gameplay and deco. So I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this level. I mean, I showed you most of it, and I managed to do most of it in practice as well. But I think it's pretty evident that, you know, this level was made very quickly. The only time I've actually noticed there being more than 2 colours on screen at once is at this beginning part where you've got grass, which is green and blue. Which I don't think is a very interesting addition anyway. Barely makes any difference. Yeah, the gameplay is just annoying. Like, it's just not fun at all. Like, the sync isn't great either, but I think it's quite important in a demon that the gameplay is good, because you know, you're gonna spend a lot of attempts on it, much more than, say, a 4 or 5 star level. And by no means am I saying go out there and make a bad 4 or 5 star level with good deco, just because it's an easy, you know, rate. But I mean, it is easier. You know, I think it should be easier. I mean, harder for a demon to have bad gameplay, because you've got to sit through this for much more attempts than an easier level. It's just so inconsistent, it's bad. And like, the block designs, they're just, looking at them every time, I just feel really bored. I really do feel bored. That's why I don't want to finish this level. It's just boring. I'm just being brutally honest here. It's boring. So it's a no send from Nem. No, I wouldn't have sent this if I was a mod. I mean, I'm not saying it's really far from a send. I mean, it's decent at best. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's not great though. Alright, this is going to be probably my last attempt, because this is boring. That sucks. Anyway, I think you can see what I mean here, where the blocks get a little bit more interesting. Like, as well, I'm going to be honest, this feels very copy and paste as well. The blocks are very similar. They change only slightly in design. I mean, you'll notice that they still have, for example, the black outline here, like, you know. And when I was saying about how execution versus, like, how much effort you're actually putting in is very important. Like, I think you need to have good execution, but you also need to show effort. And I don't feel like this level shows that amount of effort for a rate or feature. I'm very much about giving unknown creators some creator points and giving them, you know, somewhere to start. But I just don't feel like this person with 12 creator points is needing of that. They should be branching out now and, you know, defining their own style instead of sticking to the generic style that they've been using. And I'll show you an example of what I know a level where it actually ended up getting rated, and I agree with it, right? So this, for example, you've seen what it looks like. A lot of people will say it looks pretty flawless, but it's just too basic and not enough effort for a creator, you know, like that. And this is a level. What's it called? It's like it's by X Creator Goal. I forgot what the level's called. Laser Midnight. This one. This level does not look great, but the effort shows. And that's why I agree with this rate. See? Now you can see why most people would say that the level I just played is better than this. Right? But I actually think this is the better level of the two. And I would have personally... I'm not sure if I'd have sent this, I'll be straight up with you. But it would have been very close to a send for me. But this level's actually fun to play. The gameplay's not great, but it's more fun than that other level. And... you know, look, like this part, it's just effort shown. Every part's different, and it's actually just a lot better. I mean, the gameplay is very questionable in some parts, but But look how much effort's shown in this level. You can see the effort. But in the level we just played, there is no effort whatsoever, really. I mean, I bet it just took like a couple days to build, you know, and that includes gameplay. Because that's really basic. And I really hope that, I forgot his name again, Bunch, I think it was Bunch. Bunch, if you're watching this, I really hope that you take my points on board, because by no means am I saying your level's bad. I really hope that I'm actually helping you improve if you're actually seeing this. Because I do see potential. You've got the basics. You can put together a decent block design. You can put together a decent, you know, well, everything really. It's, you know, making a level that, it's just everything has to come together to look nice. And you've kind of got that. You know when something, you know, it's pretty evident to me that you don't over-decorate your levels, you don't go over the top, etc. But it's just boring. You know, there's not enough colours. I want to see something like this. I'll play this one last attempt. Just look how many different colours there are versus those 2 colours in that last level. Look how much more appealing it's to look at. It's so much nicer. I mean, like, yeah, here there's not that many colours, but there's still more than 2. And then as we progress, at least the colours change a lot more than just, you know, the objects pulsing, for example. And it's just a lot more enjoyable. It's got more effects, and obviously I'm not saying that you can't make a design level, but, like, you know, it's just a nice mix. This is, I think, a perfect mix. It's just that the execution isn't perfect, which is why it's only rated. But the effort's there, and I really, you know, I think X-Creator Goal has done a good job on this. And I'm actually really looking forward to see what he does next. So, yeah. Anyways, Bunch, take my points on board. You're not a bad creator. Just got some work to do. Just make it less boring. I'll happily play more of your levels if you release them. Just let me know. I can do more reviews on them. But yeah, this is pretty much all I've got to say for that level. It's good, I guess, for a start for a level, but it's not a good finished product because it's just boring, generic. Again, I can see it getting rated, but personally I wouldn't go higher than a star rate because it's just so generic and it doesn't show enough effort to me. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want me to play your level next, because I want to play more unknown levels to, you know, put myself out there, I guess, send me them in the comments. Otherwise I'm just going to pick some old ones, you know, some ones I just find, really. I used to have a really long list of levels that weren't featured, weren't rated, etc., that I thought needed sending to mods at the time. But obviously that's quite outdated now, and I don't even have that list anymore because I lost I lost my account data before. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a like and make sure you subscribe to this channel to support me and on my quest to getting GD moderator, because mark my words, it will happen. It's just a matter of time. I just got to show that I can, you know, I mean, like, I'm a game developer, man. I know what I'm saying. I think I have a very big advantage in saying that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.